My name's Vanessa, and today I want to talk to you about inappropriate jumping in dogs with my lovely little assistant Chica. Chica, come here. Come here, Chica. My lovely assistant Chica, who's only here for the treats. Okay, so mostly when dogs jump up on their owners, some owners think it's cute, and they're like, oh, look at my little frou-frou dog that dances around in circles. But when the dogs get bigger, don't do that. When the dogs get bigger, if it's a Great Dane, it can potentially take out a small child or your mother-in-law, which we'll pretend you don't want that to happen some days. It's usually going to be when they jump up, they're not trying to be ornery. It's a submissive greeting that they'll do, or they would do out in the wild if they were wild. It's just to say hello to their alpha or their authority. Sometimes they just do it, they're just saying hello, but it's not a recommended behavior. So the first thing you should do when you start seeing behavioral problems in your puppy or your brand new dog you got from wherever is go to your vet. Talk to your vet. Because usually they're going to do an exam to see if there's anything that's causing the dog to jump that's pain related or neurological. But they're most likely going to recommend a trainer that they've worked with for years. The trainer they trust, they've probably worked to help the vets train their own dogs. So when you always go to the trainer the vet sends you to. Don't go to like Craigslist and find some creep named Craig, okay? Not recommended. Always go to where your vet recommends, even if it's a little on the expensive side, because it'll save you a lot of money in the long run. Okay? Either on clothes that your dog is going to rip up, or it's going to help you with your pet. First of all, your bond. And some owners think it's a bad behavior and they're like, well, I can't do this. I can't get rid of the problem. I don't want to spend the money. Thank you, Chica. And so they'll just either have them euthanized or they'll send them right back to the pound, which is basically the same thing because you just killed its soul. You heartless people. Sorry. So the trainer is usually going to recommend, first of all, they're going to recommend no punishment for the bad behavior because the dog does not know that it's a frowned upon behavior. It's just saying hello. So no punishment, first of all. And they're going to give you usually 4 methods that they recommend to start out with at home for 5 to 10 minutes a day to stop your dog from jumping. Here, Chica. Sit. Okay, so Chica doesn't jump. Chica's walking away. But if Chica were to start jumping, then one of the methods you would do that's used on large dog breeds and extra large dog breeds is if Chica were to start jumping or they were to start jumping, you turn away. You give them your back. First, it will protect all your softer parts, your internal organs, your face. Usually the more expensive stuff you have on the front of your body, not the back. So it's going to protect that. It also shows them your displeasure. You don't like this, you're not giving them attention, you don't want them to do that. So if that doesn't work and they keep persisting, there's a couple others you can do. There's one called the knee raise that's usually used on medium to small dogs, because if you use it on a large dog, you're going to end up hitting them in the face, and that's frowned upon too. Because that's like a punishment because you've hit them in the face. It'll trigger agnostic behavior, which is the flight or fight response. But if you do the knee raise, all you do is like Karate Kid up in here. You just take your non-dominant leg, you raise it up in front of you and turn it a little bit so it blocks the front of your body and your sensitive parts. So, yeah, your sensitive parts. That sometimes will work. It only works usually on medium to small dogs, because if you do this with a large dog, he's just gonna plant his feet or his face right there on your thigh, and it literally did nothing but give him a step to get closer to you. Okay, the third method is going to be the walk away, which if my lovely assistant was here, she would jump, and it's kind of like the turn away. I would give her my back, but I would walk away from her. It's best if you leave the room, and if you do this with her or whichever pet you use, usually you'll have them leashed. You'll either have somebody hold the leash, or you will hold the leash and have somebody do the action. Or you can have, if they're not going to harm themselves, you could hook it to the table or something, fence, table, whatever. But you will just walk away, stay away for at least a minute, and then come back. If they do the behavior again, if they keep doing the behavior, you walk away and leave the room for a minute and a half, going all the way up to 5 minutes where they're by themselves. It shows them that if they jump, they don't get your attention. They don't get your love. They don't get to play. They've got to sit there by themselves, like little losers. Okay. The third method, if Chica will help me over here, is called distraction. It's usually used on puppies and small dogs. You usually don't want to use it because then they'll become treat oriented, but if you can use it only when needed and mix it in with another training style, then it'll help not have them be treat oriented. Because if they become treat oriented, anytime you ask them to do something and you don't have a treat, they're not going to do it. And I don't get my food, you don't get your action. It's kind of the little butt heads that way. Okay, give me Chica. Come here, treat. So what I would do if Chica were to physically touch me when she jumped, because that was just kind of like elf on the shelf there for a second, I would get her attention. Chica, have her sit. Can you sit? Sit. You don't get it unless you sit. Come here. Sit. Sit. And then I make her sit. Have her stay there, and then you give her the treat. You can have them sit, you can have them just back up or anything. Whatever the dog will do naturally is usually what you want to start out with, and then get them to do another action. But Chica's done this too much, so she doesn't sit anymore. She gets the treat. She walks away. Walking away right there. Doesn't care. Okay. Another thing you can do that is not usually recommended unless you have a cat, which you don't want a cat because I'm talking about dogs in this video, is a spray bottle. So you can either fill it with water, and then some vets or trainers will recommend adenosine, which is a hormone. It's a chemical hormone produced by boars. Dogs do not like this smell. They don't like being sprayed in the face in the first place. They don't like the smell. But what you'll do is if the dog were to jump, you would use a spray bottle, spray it. Doesn't have to be in the face. I don't want to get sprayed in the face. You don't want to get sprayed in the face. Joe down the road don't want to get sprayed in the face. Don't spray it in the face, okay? Do not spray your pet in the face. That will trigger a fight or flight response, and it's usually going to trigger a fight response because it's kind of like you struck them. And they're going to be like, well, you hit me, I'm going to bite you. I'm going to get you back. They're not being mean. They're just sticking up for themselves. So do not spray them in the face. If none of these methods work for you, go back to your trainer. Tell them what's happening at home. Tell them Chica, Fluffy, Fido, whatever the heck you call your dog, Brutus. You can call him Brutus. Tell them it's not working. Tell them you need more help. See if you can get some one-on-one sessions with them. If that stuff what they give you next does not work, they'll usually recommend to go back to your vet. If you have to go back to your vet and do more exams, do the exams. Because it could be your dog might not just not want to learn, it might actually have like a problem. Get them examined, get everything checked out, A-okay, make sure they're fine. And then if the vet needs to, which is not very common, they can recommend ACE or trazodone or other mild sedative. It's not going to knock them out. It's just going to calm them down. So then go back home, do the dosage that your vet is recommending. Do not give them any more. Do not give them any less. Give them exactly what's recommended. Okay. And then what you'll do is continue on with the training methods that your trainer set for you. And then as time goes on, which your vet will tell you, and your trainer, you'll start using smaller doses of the sedative or the medication they gave you until the dog can do what you're wanting it to do and learn what you're wanting it to learn without being doped. So that is my video.